week we are all about stability and balance. So again, very important in day-to-day life, and particularly for athletes. Okay, so there's kind of the physical side, but there's also the mental side. So I kind of start with the physical side. I guess if you think of your body as a kinetic chain, so in a kinetic chain, we kind of have a balance between mobility and stability at different junctions throughout the body. And if we pick up a little imbalance in one side of the body, generally the other side is going to compensate. And then it kind of works down this kind of zigzag chain through the body. So just that one little imbalance we started with starts this kind of knock-on effect the whole length of the body, unless we stop it in its tracks. Okay, so I guess while we want stability, we want that kind of balance as much as we can. There's very few people who are going to be perfectly balanced and perfectly stable from left to right, from front to back, but we're kind of aiming for that equilibrium within the body. And a lot of that is to do with what we were looking at the last week, where we were looking at our core. And our core, so basically from the diaphragm to just below the hip complex, is our strongest stabilizing muscle group within the body. Okay, so if we can get that right, that's going to really help. But also, and particularly for those sports where we spend a lot of time in our feet, those lower legs and ankles are going to come into play a lot. So if we have little imbalances within the lower legs and ankles, we're going to suffer it up through the rest of the body. So the feet are very much attached to what's going on in the hips and vice versa. Okay, so even just checking in with the imbalances and noticing the imbalances before they become an injury is something that we can do with our yoga practice. From a mental point of view, working on our balance poses and our stabilizing poses allows us to kind of center ourselves a little bit better. So if we're kind of running around like headless chickens, we've got a very busy life, we've got a training schedule, a work schedule, a family schedule, and it's all just out of control. The nice way of coming to the mat and just kind of drawing that focus a little bit inward, because when it comes to our balance poses, it's very hard to do anything else other than focus on the moment that you're in when you're in that pose. Okay, so it's a lovely way of just grounding yourself back to that moment. So I'm not going to waffle on anymore. I'll be kind of touching in with some of the theory behind it as we work through the class. But to start with this evening, we're actually going to come to sit back on the heels. So again, if you find that a wee bit crunchy in the knees, you can always place your towel as a little extra padding, just to take the pressure. And again, if you're quite tight in the quads, in the calves, or in the hips, you're going to find this not so comfortable, also in the fronts of the ankles. So again, use anything you need. It could be a rolled up towel, it could be a rolled up jumper. Place it underneath the knee crease, sit back, gives an extra little stretch into the quad, so it can be really nice. Also, if you want to place some kind of fabric underneath the fronts of the ankles. So I wouldn't avoid the pose altogether. So if it feels uncomfortable, it's probably an area that you need to kind of work into a little bit more opening or a little bit more strength and engagement. Okay, so use those props. Okay, we're going to sit nice and tall into the spine. Open the palms to the ceiling, draw the chest forward, draw the shoulder blades back. And again, feel that lovely engagement into the tummy muscles and that little release into the lower back. And we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and really stretch between the shoulder blades here. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, maybe take the gaze up, interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling, and then exhale, press forward, really tuck that chin into the chest. Feel that release. One more. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, arms right back in line with the ears, interlock fingers, and then press palms forward and release. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to pause at the top. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. This time as we exhale, we're going to press those arms all the way to the right, as far as we can go. So really strong lengthening through the arms. Notice if you're pressing the hands out in front, try to draw those arms right back in line with the ears. And again, almost imagine that we're pressing the palms into something. So really strong through the arms here. See if we can ground that left sit bone back toward the heel and maybe take the gaze up toward that left wrist. So as we inhale, actively press away through both arms. As we exhale, hinge a little bit more to the right and ground that sit bone to the left. Inhale, press through the arms. Exhale, hinge a little bit more. One more breath, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale all the way over to the left. So again, really active through both arms. We're pressing the palms against that imaginary object. Sit that right sit bone right back to the heel. Again, notice if the arms are coming out in front, draw them back. So we shouldn't have any shadow there. Draw them right back in line with the ears. As we inhale, we're lengthening. As we exhale, we're hinging a little bit more to the left. So feel that extension along the right side of the body, but keep a little bit of length in the left side too. So both arms are really active. Every exhale, we're hinging a little bit more. Feel that stretch and release. One more breath. And again, just even notice if one side's a little bit tighter than the other. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale, release it forward. Lovely. From here, we're going to come up onto our knees. So again, knees are about hip width distance apart. So there's a little bit of space between the knees here. Bringing the hands to the hips, we're going to step that right foot out to the right, and we're going to really grind the outer blade of that right foot into the mat. Left hip is over the knee, and we're pressing the hips forward, but engaging those tummy muscles. Keeping the right hand where it's at. We're going to inhale, left arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to reach that left arm all the way over to the right as far as we can go. Again, keeping that arm back in line with the ear, keeping the heart open, keeping the hips open. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, hinge a little bit more to the right. Feel a nice release in that inner right thigh. Keep pressing the hips to the left. One more breath here. Maybe take the gaze up. Exhale, hinge. And then inhale back to center. As we exhale, we're going to rest that left hand down beside us to the left. Fingertips point away. Now we can come down onto the hand, but if you start to collapse into the chest, just come up onto the fingertips. So we want to work the hips open, work the heart open, and then maybe see if you can come down onto the hand. We're going to inhale that right arm up. As we exhale, reach the right arm overhead. Again, lovely strong arms here. Imagining somebody's pulling at your right fingertips and somebody else is holding your right ankle in place. So again, a full extension the right side of the body. Maybe take the gaze up toward that right hand. Hold it here. Again, reach through those fingertips. So really feeling that lovely stretch along the right side of the body. For 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, bend right elbow, right knee in to touch. Exhale, extend it out, hovering that right foot about half an inch off the ground. Inhale, slowly draw it in, full core engagement. Exhale, lengthen it out. Continue with your own breath. If you want to challenge the balance a little bit, we're going to follow that middle finger on the right hand with the gaze. So we have a moving point of focus or a drishti point. Again, if that feels too unstable, you can take the gaze to the ground. So usually with our balance poses, to make them more difficult, we change our point of focus, so it's a moving point of focus, or we close down our eyes altogether. Otherwise, we can take the gaze to the ground, or a little in between to the ceiling. Last one, wherever we're at. Inhale it in. Exhale it out. Rest that right foot down. Continue to reach through those fingertips. One more breath. And then draw that right arm to rest on the waist. From here, we're going to inhale. See if we can lift the right foot off the ground. Keep the foot nice and active and see if we can draw it up in line with the hips. So we're looking for full glute engagement here. If you find that the foot's not coming off the ground, it could be just a little imbalance here in the glutes. We're going to bend the right knee. Focus in on that area of the hip. Lift the leg up, so keeping the knee bent. And then in time, we might straighten out that leg. So again, nice and slowly. We're going to hold it here. Lift the leg as high as we can go for 3, for 2, and 1. Rest the right foot down. We're going to engage the core to slowly bring ourselves back to center. Left hand comes to the hip, right knee comes to meet left. And we do the same little sequence on the other side. So again, bringing that left foot out to the side, really grinding the outer blade of the foot into the mat. Right hip is over the knee. That right toe can be tucked or flattened out, so whatever feels good for you. Left hand stays where it's at. We're going to inhale, right arm up. And as we exhale, extend that right arm overhead to the left. Again, draw the arm back in line with the ear, really active through the arm. So it's not just hanging out there, super active here. As we inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, hinge a little bit more as we press the hips to the right and feel that release in the inner thigh. Maybe take the gaze up, hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale back to center. We're going to place that right hand out to the right, fingertips point away. So either our hand is flat or on the fingertips. Just keep the hips open, keep the heart open. We're going to inhale, left arm up. And as we exhale, reach that left arm overhead, nice and strong. Maybe take the gaze toward the fingertips. Again, imagining somebody's pulling you by the fingertips and somebody else is holding that left ankle grounded. Feel that length, the whole length of the left side of the body. Hold it here. Again, stretch as much as we can. So again, we don't spend that much time releasing into the side waist. So again, take that time, take that stretch. Really good for swimmers, this one actually. Gets you a little bit more length into that stroke. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, bend the left elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, extend it out, hovering the foot off the ground. Inhale it in, so you don't have to touch, just even drawing them in that general direction. Exhale it out, continue with your own breath. Again, if you want to challenge the balance, we're going to follow the gaze to that middle finger on the left hand. So it's a moving point of focus. Again, if that's too much, you can take the gaze either to the ceiling, or if it's still too much, to the ground. And again, another thing with our balance pose is the less points of contact we have with the body on the ground, the more challenging it is, the more engaging with those stabilizing muscles. So at the moment we have hand and knee. If we touch the foot down, it's not the end of the world. It's just not going to challenge those stabilizers as much. Last one, wherever we're at, inhale it in, exhale it out. Rest that foot down, reach through the fingertips one more time. And then we're going to rest that left hand onto the waist. See if we can engage that left foot or left glute by lifting the leg off the ground. Keep the foot super active. Again, if it's not coming off the ground, bend the knee, focus in on that hip joint, work the hip open, and then gently lengthen through the leg in time, straightening out through the leg. See if we can lift the leg a little bit higher. Notice if it's a little bit more challenging from one side to the other. So again, touching in with those little instabilities, little imbalances within the muscles for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the left foot down. Engage with the core to slowly bring ourselves back to center. Right hand comes to the hip, left knee comes in to meet the right. Lovely. We're going to sit back onto the heels, and then we're going to sit back down onto our mats. Feet are flat, knees are bent to start with. Just make sure your towel is within reach here, and then we're going to lie back down onto the ground. Lovely. We're going to hug that right knee into the chest. Give it a nice little squeeze. And then we're going to rest that right ankle just above the left knee, coming into our figure 4. Again, drawing the right toe toward the knee and pressing that right knee away from the body, using that right hip to do so. And then see if we can press the lower back into the ground. So feel those back muscles engage, feel the core muscles engage, feel that full connection to the ground. If that feels good, we're going to lift that left foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling. And then either interlocking the hands behind the back of that hamstring, or if you find you're rolling into the chest or you're coming off the lower back, you can reach for your towel, wrap it around the back of that left hamstring, little extension of the arms here. We're going to gently walk those shoulder blades together, opening into the heart as we inhale. And as we exhale, draw the left knee toward the face as we continue to work the right knee away from the body. So that right foot is super active. Left foot is nice and relaxed, but the shin is parallel or almost parallel to the ceiling. Every inhale, think about opening the heart, connecting the spine to the ground. And every exhale, working that knee a little bit closer to the face as we work the right knee away. So we're working into right hip and glute here. So again, our stabilizing muscles very much focus here into the hip complex, working into our glutes, and then working into the core, working into our abdominals, our lower back. Really all throughout the spine, sides of the body. And if we can get our engine right and our foundations right, then we're less likely to put up those nipples. Again, from here, we're going to stay in the pose. We're going to inhale, point the left foot up toward the ceiling, really stretching into the front of the foot. And as we exhale, draw the toes toward the face. So we're inhale, pointing, and exhale, toes to face. Continue with your own breath. And again, notice which is easier. Often for our swimmers, it might be easier to point. For our cyclists, it might be easier to flex. Again, depending on what position your foot spends the most time. So what we're looking for is a balance from front to back. So really exaggerate that movement. And then we're going to make a few nice big circles to the right. Continuing to work into that right hip and glute as we do so. Making those circles as big, as round, as smooth as we can. And again, we're not just working into our ankles here, we're working into all those little stabilizing muscles around the joint and also into all those little stabilizing muscles in the lower leg. So the more these circles we draw, the more we're going to start to touch in with those lower leg muscles, and then reverse those circles in the other direction. And again, as well as left to right, we want that directional balance. Okay, so your circles to the right in that ankle should be the same as your circles to the left. So a nice smooth full round movement. And again, the more of these you do, the more you're engaging those muscles. The slower you make it, the stronger it becomes. And then we're going to gently rest that left foot down onto the ground, staying in our figure 4, keeping that right ankle just above the knee. And again, we're going to press that lower back into the ground. Hands are flat to the ground, fingertips point in front of the mat. If you know that that this is a little bit too strong for you, you can come down into your traditional bridge. So place both feet on the ground. Otherwise, stay in your figure 4. And we're going to gently peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground. Lift the hips toward the ceiling. See if we can walk the shoulder blades together underneath the upper spine and press the hands and arms and shoulders into the ground. So we're taking all the weight out of the neck and head. And again, we're going to press that left foot into the ground. If you want to focus a wee bit more into the hamstring, you can press the heel a little bit more pressure into the ground. Again, we can stay here, keeping that right foot active, keep working that right knee outwards. Or if you want to bring a little bit of movement into it, we're going to inhale at center. As we exhale, gently lower the bum toward the ground, hovering about half an inch off the mat. Inhale, slowly rise. Again, really engaging those lower back and core muscles. Exhale, gently lower. Continue with your own breath. So again, that decrease, points of contact on the ground. Again, if it's too strong, please feel free to place both feet on the ground and work through your traditional. If the movement is too strong, feel free to hold it in your bridge. Trying to lift those hips as high as we can by using that core connection. So engaging back muscles, tummy muscles, quads, glutes, hamstrings. Last one up. And then exhale, release wherever we're at. We're going to cross the right leg over the left fully. Extend both arms out in line with the shoulders, palms down. Shift the hips to the right and then allow both knees drop over to the left, coming into a nice little spinal twist. Taking the gaze over the right fingertips, see if we can keep that right shoulder and right arm literally glued to the ground here. So if you find it's peeling off, just lift the knees until you can reconnect. So we want to feel that space in the chest. We want to feel that full twist in the spine. If the knees aren't falling over easy, just shift the hips a wee bit more to the right, creating a little bit more space for those knees to fall. We're going to inhale, draw the breath nice and deep into the belly. And as we exhale, twist from the lower back, middle back, upper back, and again, take that gaze all the way out to the right. Feel that release in the spine, the core, nice little release into the right glute here. And just enjoy wringing it all out. Every exhale, just release a little bit more. When you're ready, we're going to inhale back to center, nice and slowly. Uncross the legs. We're going to hug the left knee into the chest. Give it a nice little squeeze, releasing into that hip flexor. And then we're going to rest that left ankle just above the right knee, coming into our figure 4 on the other side. Drawing the toe toward the knee and working that left knee away from the body using that left hip muscle. So again, feel that connection of the lower back on the ground. Maybe stay here, or if you wish to join me, we're going to lift that right foot off the ground. Again, shin parallel to the ceiling, foot nice and relaxed, left foot still active. And then either interlocking the hands or the towel around the back of that right hamstring. As we inhale, working those shoulder blades together, opening into the heart. And as we exhale, work that right knee a little bit closer toward the face as we continue to work that left knee away from the body. And again, we're not forcing that right knee toward the face. In fact, we should be able to loosen that grip with the hands or towel and stay nice and strong within that pose. So we're not relying on the hands, they're just there as a nice little aid to rest the leg. But again, we still want to engage those muscles around the hips, particularly when we're working into our stabilizers. From here, we're going to inhale, point the right foot up toward the ceiling, really stretching into the front of the ankle. And as we exhale, draw the toes toward the face, nice and strong. Inhale, point. And then exhale, toes to face. Continue with your own breath. You can just notice how that movement feels compared to the other side. So again, little imbalances and niggles within the feet can cause all sorts of things up throughout the rest of the body. So even just noticing them, often we don't really touch into them until we slow the movement right down. We're going to make a few nice big circles to the right. Again, full, smooth, as large as we can make those circles. Notice if they're feeling a little bit more triangular than circles. So we're trying to ease out those corners or those angles to really try to smoothen it out. And again, just touch into how it feels comparing to the other side. And then we're going to reverse those circles. So again, notice where the movement is easier, where it feels restricted. So this is just a nice little mind-body connection. So often when we spend so much time on our feet and we pick up all these little niggles. It could even be just the way your foot's landing. It could be a hip thing. But again, until we slow that movement right down, we might actually uncover where the root of our niggle is. Lovely. Coming to stillness, we're going to rest that right foot down, staying in our figure 4, pressing that lower back into the ground. Hands are flat to the ground, fingertips point to the front of the mat. We should be able to brush the back of that right heel with the fingertips. Again, come to both feet on the ground if you know already that figure 4 is a little bit too strong this evening. We're going to inhale, gently peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground. Work those shoulder blades together as we press the arms and shoulders and hands into the ground. Take the pressure off the neck and head. Press the hips a little bit higher. Engage the core. Feel those lower back muscles engage. Feel the tummy muscles engage, the glutes, the hamstring. Keep the left foot nice and active. And again, we're keeping those hips as high as we can. If you want to focus a wee bit more into the hamstring, you can press that right heel into the ground a little bit more. Otherwise, we're pressing the full flat of that right foot into the ground as we inhale. And as we exhale, gently lower the bum toward the ground, hovering about half an inch off the mat. Inhale, press up nice and slow, full core engagement. Exhale, slowly release. Continue with your own breath. Again, really slowing down the movement. So we're having to really engage with those stabilizers. If we're in figure 4, we're continuing to work that left knee outward, working into that left hip opening as we work through the movement, nice and strong, nice and engaged. Last 2. Last 1. And then release all the way down onto the ground. Wherever we're at, we're going to cross that left leg over the right. Extend both arms out, line with the shoulders, palms down. We're going to shift the hips to the left this time. Allow both knees drop over to the right. And then take the gaze over the left shoulder, coming into our spinal twist. Again, left arm, left shoulder is grounded to the earth. If it means lifting the knees until we can get that connection. And then working our way back into the twist. If you find those knees aren't dropping over easy, just shift the hips a wee bit more to the left. So ideally, left hip is stacked on top of the right, and both hips are down the midline of the body. As we inhale, draw the breath as deep as we can into the belly. And as we exhale, see if we can release through the lower back, middle back, chest, and again, all the way out through the neck. Try to enjoy the exhale. So just think about the body releasing, wringing it out, getting rid of any niggles throughout the spine, the core, creating a wee bit of space between all those organs in the abdominal cavity. So it's a lovely way of just cleansing through the body. And just enjoying that release. Slowly, we're going to inhale back to center. Nice and easy, uncross the legs. We're going to hug both knees in toward the chest. Again, giving them a nice little squeeze. Crisscrossing at the ankles. We have 2 options here. If you want to come straight up to seat, whatever way feels good to you, please so do. Otherwise, we're going to rock forward and back along the mat, using that motion to massage the full length of the spine, using your core engagement to bring you up to seat each time. And when we've done that 3 or 4 times, we're going to fully engage with the core to bring ourselves up to seat, nice and strong. From here, we're going to sit back on our mats. Feet are out in front, knees are bent, feet are flat. And then from here, we're going to scoot the heels toward the sit bones, maybe the sit bones toward the heels. We're drawing those knees into the chest. Knees are together, feet are together. We're going to bring the arms out in front, and then we're going to wrap the arms around the shins, holding on to either the elbows or the forearms, so whichever you can get. And then we're going to draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, and sit nice and strong, nice and tall into the spine. So feel those spines, feel those lower back muscles in particular really engage here. We're just going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. So this is what we want to maintain, that nice strong length within the spine and core. From here, we're going to bring the arms out in front, palms are parallel. We're going to step the feet out a little bit and come up onto the tippy toes. So again, keeping that length in the spine. We might need to lean back a little bit until we start to feel those tummy muscles engaged to stop us from falling any further. And then from here, we're going to see if we can lift the feet off the ground and bring those shins out parallel to the ground. We can either point through the toes or flex through the toes, whatever feels stronger for you. And again, keep continuing to draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. So what often happens here is we slump into the lower back and we dump and we round into the upper back. So I want you to try to maintain that lovely length and strength into the core. Again, if you have it into hamstrings, I don't quite have it. We can press away through the heels, lengthen through the legs, but try to keep a little bit of height in the back here. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release the feet. Again, we're going to hug those knees in, wrap the arms around the shins, holding on to elbows or wrists or forearms. And again, sitting nice and tall, nice and strong into the spine. Maybe shimmy a little bit on the hips here just to release. We're going to do that one more time. So lovely, strong core pose here, but really working on our balance. So we have 1 point of contact to the ground. What you can do, and I'll talk you through it this time, bring those arms out in front. Again, arms parallel, palms face each other. Coming up onto the toes, gently lean back. And that might be enough. This is a lovely core engagement. Again, we're on our toes. We've already decreased our connection to the ground. You can experiment. If it feels a bit too strong to lift the feet, just lift 1 toe or 1 foot at a time, another foot, and then see if you can lift them both together. So again, play around with it, okay? So don't feel like you have to come straight into our both pose. If you feel strong enough, keep pressing the chest forward. We're going to draw those shins up in line with the hands. Again, keep the knees together if you can. Point through the toes, flex through the toes, your choice, but just keep working that chest forward. Feel the tummy muscles and lower back muscles engage. Hold it here. Again, extend through the legs if you have that flexibility within the hamstrings. Hold it here, nice and strong in the core for 3, for 2, and 1. Crisscross at the ankles, and we're going to gently fold forward, bring the hands out in front. Coming onto the forearms if you can, and just release the head and neck. So just a nice gentle forward fold here, rounding through the spine, whatever you want. Just a nice little release. Lovely. Tuck the chin in, coming back, hands to the mat. We're going to step back onto the knees into our tabletop. Nice and strong again in our tabletop. We'll do a few little spine mobilizers. So shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward. Really spreading our fingers nice and wide. We're going to press the hands into the ground, feel the shoulder muscles engage. Knees are about hip width distance apart and the hips are stacked over the knees. Again, if you can tuck that belly button toward the back of the spine, feel the lower back release, feel the tummy muscles engage a little. And then from here, we're going to inhale, draw the chest forward, take the gaze up toward the ceiling as we arch through the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back toward the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arch in the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, really tuck that chin into the chest. Continue with your own breath. Small little bend to the elbows, so nice softness at the elbow joints. And we're just trying to get a nice little bit of fluidity, mobility, space into every single last facet along the spine. So just enjoy the movement, close down the eyes. Don't get too caught up with what it feels like, but really exaggerate the movement so you can access as much space as possible. Feel that stretch between the shoulders into the chest, into the lower back. Release into the neck. Last one, and we're going to meet back in center in our tabletop. Just make sure you have a nice little bit of space out in front here because we're going to be reaching forward with those arms in a second. We're going to keep that right hand grounded. Just make sure the wrist is underneath that right shoulder. Extend the left arm out. So almost like you want to touch something on the far wall or somebody's pulling you from the fingertips. So really active. We're going to press back through the right foot. Again, somebody's pulling you at the heel this time. Notice if the belly's kind of dropped and we're crunching into the lower back. Again, tuck that belly button toward the back of the spine. Feel those core muscles engage. Maybe engage that right glute a little bit more to get the leg to lift. So again, this is a lovely, strong balance pose in itself without bringing any movement. If you want to bring a little bit of movement, we're going to inhale here, lengthen through those fingertips, press away through the heel. As we exhale, draw the left hand out to the left, right foot out to the right, as far as we can go, and keep both foot and hand really high. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left arm crosses over to the right as the right leg moves over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, arm to left, foot to right. Inhale, center. Exhale, arm to right, foot to left. Continue with your own breath. Again, really slow, really controlled, and really strong. Keep both leg and arm lifted throughout the full movement. Don't forget to breathe. So we're inhaling center and we're exhaling it out. One more, both sides. Try not to jump into that right wrist. And then back to center. From here, we're going to rest the left hand down, come onto the ball of the right foot. Press back through the right heel. Hold it here. Stretch it out for 3, for 2, and 1. Right knee comes back to meet the left. Same on the other side. This time that left hand stays grounded. Wrist underneath the shoulder. Extend through the right fingertips, through that arm. Press back through the left foot. Again, engage the left foot, press away through the heel as we draw those toes toward the knee. Re-engage the left glute, get a little bit more lift, re-engage those tummy muscles, flatten out through the back. We're going to inhale here. As we exhale, reach right arm out to the right, left foot as far to the left as we can. Inhale, center. Exhale, right arm crosses over the body as the left leg moves to the right. Continue with your own breath. Slow, controlled, keeping that height, keeping that glute engaged. So again, lovely way of mobilizing into those joints, keeping them nice and strong and working it as far out as we can. So increasing that flexibility also. Relax the breath, use the breath. Gaze is relaxed. So we're just looking down toward the ground, nice relaxed neck. Last one, both sides, wherever we're at. Meeting back at center, we're going to place that right hand down, come onto the ball of the left foot, press back through the heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Left knee comes back to meet right, toes are together, knees come nice and wide, about the width of the mat apart or wider if it's good. We're going to sit back to the heels. Bring those hands out in front and then rest the forehead toward the ground or between those arms. So just allow the weight of the head and neck release here. Feel that stretch between the shoulder blades. Maybe press the ground away out in front and feel that stretch a little bit more. Try to draw those sit bones a little bit further back toward the heels and feel that lower back release. Hold it here. Release the breath for 3, for 2, and 1. Lovely. Tuck the chin in, walk those hands a little bit further back toward the body, and we're going to come back into our tabletop from wherever we're at. Bring the hands out in front, tuck the toes under. Again, press away through the heels. Feel that nice stretch into the soles of the feet. Sitting back toward the heels, we're going to press the ground away, lift the knees off the ground, lift the hips toward the ceiling, and then gently release those heels down toward the ground. Again, finger pads and knuckles are pressed into the ground as we draw the chest toward the mat. Looking back toward the knees, toward the belly. So nice relaxed gaze here. Lift the hips a little bit higher and then see if we can engage those quad muscles to create a little bit more space into the backs of the legs. And then gently paddle out the feet. So again, laying opposite heels, melt toward the ground. Continue to press the ground away. Continue to press those hips toward the ceiling. Really tuck that belly button in toward the spine, trying to create a little bit more space for that lovely upside down V to happen. And then from here, we're going to look forward between the hands and gently walk our way to the front of the mat, nice and slowly, coming into a nice relaxed forward fold. So wide-legged forward fold, slight softness to the knees. Just allow the head and neck and arms relax here. So softness to the knees until the fingertips or hands rest on the ground. Allow the head release. Give it a little shake side to side to relax the neck. And when you're ready, we're going to tuck the chin in and slowly rise our way all the way up to stand. Head comes up last. Lovely. Take a little drink here if you need. We're going to get a little bit flowier now with our practice. And so a nice little bit of engagement there. And then we're going to really kind of challenge our stabilizing muscles toward the end of our flow. When you're ready, we're going to meet at the front of the mat. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Again, feel all corners of the feet into the ground. So really touch in with our feet. There's so many little receptors in our feet that really engage with our balance. So again, see if you can plant the baby toe onto the ground. Lift all the other toes off. And then one by one, from the second toe in, middle toe, all the way to the big toe, and feel that foot spread. And then we're going to draw the toes toward the heels. So we're going to feel the arches engage and then spread out through the feet. So again, full connection, full foundation here. Hands come to heart. Press the palms together, draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. Again, tuck that belly button toward the lower back. So feel those tummy muscles engage and feel that lower back soften here. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge. We're going to keep that right hand grounded in line with the left foot. Inhale, left arm up towards the ceiling, opening the heart. If you need to come down onto the right knee here, please do. Listen to your body. Pressing right arm into the ground, pressing back through the heel. Open the heart a little bit more. We're going to bend the left elbow, bring the back of the hand to rest in the lower back. See if we can peel open the front of the body to the left side of the room. Engage that left shoulder muscle. Maybe take the gaze up toward the ceiling if it feels good. If it feels a little bit out of balance, bring the gaze to the ground. Hold for 3. Press back through that heel for 2 and 1. Left hand comes back to the ground. We're going to rest the right knee down if it's not there already. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen tall through the spine. As we exhale, twist as deeply as we can to the left. And then we're going to rest that right arm onto the left leg. Press the palms together, hands are in prayer, hands face forward. Left elbow points toward the ceiling. See if you can press that right arm into the leg to draw the belly off the leg. So core engagement here. And then see if you can look over that left shoulder and gently peel the heart open to the left side of the room. So almost like the body is parallel to the left side of the room. Take the gaze over the shoulder if it feels good. If it feels a little bit off, gaze to the ground. If you want to challenge the balance a little bit more, we're going to press into the ball of the right foot, lifting off the right knee, press back through the right heel. Full leg engagement here. If you feel very unstable, if you're bending the knee and you're rocking forward or sideways, you want to rest the knee down so you can re-engage with the twist. Focus on that and then gently tease that knee off the ground. So full control of the pose for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the right knee down. Inhale, hands back to heart center front. Place both hands to frame that left foot. Coming off the right knee, we're going to step the left foot back to meet right into our plank. So plank pose is actually one of the strongest balance poses because we're activating all our trunk, our core muscles. We're activating the backs of the legs, the fronts of the legs, the shoulders, the arms. Press the ground away. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Roll the heart forward and tuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulder blades back. See if we can lift the chest a little bit further off the ground. And then see if we can hover those hands off the ground and keep that hold. Engaging those lower back muscles, engaging those tummy muscles for 3. Lift for 2, A little bit more for 1. And then exhale, release the hands, tuck the toes, press the ground away, lift the hips, downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. Relax the head, relax the neck. Press the ground away, draw that chest toward the ground, feel that space between the shoulders. Coming to stillness, we're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge, left foot to meet it. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward. Hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge. Keep that left hand grounded in line with the right foot. We're going to inhale, right arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart. Come down to the knee if you need. Otherwise, we're pressing back through the left heel. See if we can bend the right elbow, bring the back of the hand to rest at the lower back. Use that connection to peel the heart open a little bit more. Take the gaze over that shoulder toward the ceiling if it feels good, otherwise toward the ground if you need a little bit more stability. Hold it here. Keep pressing that left hand into the ground for 3. Draw the heart open for 2. And 1. Slowly turning back, bringing that right hand back to meet left. Resting the left knee down if it's not there already. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, nice and tall. And then exhale, twist as deeply as we can to the right. We're going to rest that left arm onto the leg. Bring the hands together if they're not there already. They point forward, right elbow points toward the ceiling. Notice if we're collapsing onto that leg. So we're going to press the left arm into the leg, create a little triangle space between the belly and the legs. Feel the core engage. Notice if we're falling forward in the chest, we're going to engage the right shoulder, open the heart. So full twist here if we can. If that feels good, we might challenge the balance a little bit more by taking the gaze up. If it's not so stable, take the gaze down toward the ground. And next, to make it a little bit more advanced, we're going to press into the ball of the foot, lifting off the knee and pressing back through that heel, but try to maintain that twist. Try to keep that belly lifted off the leg and try to keep that stillness in the pose for 3. Nice and strong for 2. And 1. Release the knee, turning to the front of the mat. Placing both hands to frame that right foot, coming off the left knee. We're going to step the right foot back to plank. And again, just hold it here. For 3, press back through the heels. For 2, press the ground away. For 1, exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Roll the heart forward onto the toes. Draw those shoulders back as we press the chest forward. From here, we're going to release down onto the belly. Just create a little bit of space out front that you can reach those arms out in front without touching anything. So we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths in our pose. So arms are extended out in front. We're reaching back through the toes. All parts of the body are grounded to the mat. We will be taking the gaze forward, so slight engagement of those neck muscles. As we inhale, we're going to lift the right hand and left foot off the ground as high as we can go. And again, I want you to imagine that somebody's pulling you from the fingertips and from the toes. So we're lengthening a little diagonally across the body, but more so we're lifting. So lift that leg, lift that arm as high as we can go. Gaze is relaxed for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm and right foot up. Again, pointing through the toes, reaching through the fingertips, lift a little bit more, feel the hamstring and glute and lower back engaged. Draw that chest off the mat. Head is off the mat, but gaze is relaxed. For 3, for 2, lift, and 1, gently release. This time we're just going to lift the hands, so we're going to inhale, arms off, lifting the chest off the ground, drawing those shoulders back, feel the lower back muscles really engage here. Engage those tummy muscles, see if we can lift a little bit higher for 3. Don't forget to breathe for 2, and 1, gently release. This time just the feet, so we're going to inhale both feet off the ground as high as we can go. So we've got about hip width distance between the feet here. Feel the glutes engage, lower back engage, hamstrings engage. Lift a little bit more for 3. Getting into the quads a little bit here for 2. and one, gently release. Last one, we're going to inhale, arms and feet off the ground, lifting as high as we can go. So our last point of contact is the belly and the hips. See if we can decrease that area that the belly is on the mat. Lift a little bit more. Relax the gaze for 3. Lift for 2 and 1. Gently release. Make a little pillow with the hands. Rest the head down and just gently rock the hips side to side. Maybe rock the head side to side, releasing the neck. Lovely. When you're ready, we're going to come back up onto our forearms, tuck the toes under. Bring those hands back by the chest. And then we're going to press the ground away and come all the way back into our downward dog. Nice and easy, walk it out. Press the ground away, draw the chest toward the mat, lift the hips, draw those heels down toward the ground. Again, nothing forced, just nice mobilizing, nice strong movement. Come to stillness here. We're going to inhale the left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge with control. Right foot to meet it. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Lovely. Second round. Again, we're going to come to stand at the front of the mat. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Feel that core engagement. Feel those shoulder blades melt down the spine. So really drawing those shoulders away from the ears. Draw that belly button toward the lower back. Feel the glutes engaged, feel the leg muscles engaged. Bring a little bit of softness to those knees. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, keep that right hand grounded. If you need to come to the knee, please do. We're going to inhale, left arm up and open, reaching those fingertips toward the ceiling. Pressing back through the heel if the knee's lifted. Bend the left elbow, bring the back of the hand to the lower back. Use that connection to open the heart a little bit more. Bend into that left knee. Feel that release into the left glute for 3, for 2, and 1. Left hand comes back to frame that foot, resting onto the right knee. We're going to inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Lengthen through the spine as we inhale, as we exhale, twist as deeply as we can to the left. Rest that right arm onto the leg. Hands in prayer, for hands face forward, left elbow points toward the ceiling. Press that right arm into the leg, lift the belly off the leg, draw that left shoulder back, open the heart to the left side of the room. Maybe take the gaze up if we want to challenge the balance. Maybe press into the ball of that right foot, press back through the heel, lifting the knee off the ground. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the knee down, inhale back to the front, placing both hands to frame the left foot. We're going to step the left foot back to meet right. Hold it here in our plank, nice and strong. If you need to come to the knees, please do. Just keep the core strong and the spine long. We're pressing the ground away as opposed to holding ourselves in our plank. So think about pressing the ground away, engaging those shoulder muscles. Pressing back through the heels for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest chin to the ground, elbows in, roll the heart forward, onto the toes, press the feet into the ground, draw those shoulder blades back. Exhale, press the ground away, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog, walk it out. Nice and easy. Notice where the breath's at, notice if you're holding it, notice if it's caught up in the chest. Really try to draw that breath deep into the belly. So we're breathing in and out through the nose in as controlled fashion as we can, using that engagement with the core to squeeze out every last little bit of air from the belly. Coming to stillness here in our downward dog. We're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge. We're going to hold it here, coming up onto the fingertips. So pressing back through the heel. If you need to come to that left knee, again, listen to the body. From here, we're going to bring those arms back in line with that extended left leg, pressing away through the heel, full muscle engagement. See if we can engage the tummy muscles to lift the belly off the leg. So there should be a little bit of space between the leg and belly so we're not collapsing on. We're going to press back through the fingertips, draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. Gaze is relaxed, hold it here, nice and strong for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring the fingertips out front. And then from here, we're going to place a little bit more weight into the front of that right foot, springing off that left foot and lifting that left foot as high as we can. So if you have a block and you want a bit more height, you can always use the block and place your hands onto the block. Again, keep the left foot active, lift a little bit higher, feel that engagement. If you want to really challenge the balance, you might hover the fingertips off the ground. You might even make fists with the hands and really engage with the movement. Hold it here for 3. Lift that left leg for 2 and 1. Fingertips back to the ground if they're not there already. We're going to gently bend the right knee, and then we're going to bend the left knee to rest just behind the right knee. Draw the left toe toward the knee. So we're coming into a little pelican pose here. So this is strong enough in itself. We're going to really feel this into the right glute. If you want to challenge it a little bit more, we can hover the fingertips off the ground, make fists with the hands, or we can bring the hands to heart center in prayer. Hold it here. Relax the breath, relax the gaze for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring those hands back to the ground. We're going to rest that left foot down beside the right. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up. And then exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Last side. Inhale, gaze forward. Hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge. Keep that left hand grounded. Come down onto the knee if you need to do so. We're going to inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling. Open the heart, really drawing that right shoulder back, pressing back through the heel if the knee's lifted. Bend the right elbow, bring the back of the hand to rest on the lower back. Peel open the heart a little bit more as we engage that right shoulder. If it feels a little bit unbalanced, gaze goes to the ground. If we want to challenge it, gaze goes to the ceiling. Hold it here. Keep pressing the left hand into the ground, bending into that right knee. Feel that release in the glute for 3, for 2, and 1. Right hand comes back to meet left, resting onto that left knee. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen strong through the spine. As we exhale, twist as deeply as we can to the right, and then rest that left arm onto the leg. Hands stay in prayer for hands face forward. Again, that right elbow points upward. See if we can press the left arm into the leg, creating a little bit of air space between the belly and the leg. And again, see if we can engage that right shoulder to really open the heart to the right side of the room. Again, we might stay here. Gaze comes to the ground if you feel you need a little bit more stability. Gaze goes to the ceiling if you want to challenge it. And if you want to bring it to the next level, we're going to press the ball of that left foot into the ground, lifting off the knee and pressing back through the heel, trying to find stillness in our pose. Continue to press the arm into the leg. Keep that space, keep the core engagement for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release that knee down, turn to the front, placing both hands to frame the right foot. With control, we're going to step the right foot back to meet left. Again, nice strong planks here, engaging all our core stabilizing muscles for 3. Press the ground away for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulder blades back as we lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away, lift the hips, downward dog. Walk it out nice and easy. Again, keep touching back in with that breath. So if we don't bring the breath into the movement, we're not going to fully engage with those muscles because we're kind of resisting it. We're not letting ourselves go. Coming to stillness here in our downward dog. We're going to inhale the left leg up, looking forward, stepping that left foot into lunge, staying here. We're going to come up onto the fingertips. Again, if you need to bring that right knee to the ground, listen to your body. From here, pressing back through the heel, we're going to bring those arms back in line with that extended right leg. Reaching through the fingertips, drawing the shoulder blades back. See if we can engage the tummy muscles to lift the belly off the leg, so we're not dumping onto that left leg. Nice and strong. Keep pressing back through the fingertips. Gaze is relaxed. Still bending into that left knee. Nice and strong into the leg for 3, for 2, and 1. Bringing those fingertips out in front of that left foot. Again, drawing our center of gravity a little bit further forward over that left foot. Spring loading at that right foot. We're going to lift the right foot up toward the ceiling. Again, pressing back through the heel, drawing the toes toward the knees. So we're not rotating, keeping those hip bones nice and level and just lifting, engaging the glutes, the hamstrings, lower back muscles. Again, if you have a block, you want a little bit more height, you can rest the hands onto the blocks. If you want to challenge a little bit more, you can bring the fingertips, hover them off the ground, maybe even making fists with the hands, but keep pressing that right foot up. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Fingertips release if they're not there already. Little bend to the left knee, bend the right knee and bring it to rest and to the back of that left knee. Again, we're drawing the heel toward the bum and we're drawing the toes toward the knee on that right foot. We might stay here. We might hover the fingertips off the ground. We might make little fists and really engage those arms as we hold it here. Or we might bring those hands to heart center in prayer. Draw the shoulders back. Keep pressing the chest forward for 3. Tummy muscles engaged for 2. And 1. Exhale, release the hands. Bring that right foot back to meet left. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, hands together. And then exhale, swan dive fold. Inhale, look forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge. From here, we're going to release down onto the right knee, untuck the toe. We're going to walk that left foot to the very outside of the mat. And both hands come inside the foot. Staying nice and high on the fingertips here. So we're going to work into heart and hip, not getting too deep into either. Again, that left knee is stacked over the left ankle. We're going to inhale, draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. Again, if you have a block, you want a bit more height, you can always place the hands onto the block. Every exhale, just allowing those hips release a little bit further toward the ground. So we're not getting too deep. Try to keep the tummy muscles engaged so we're not compressing into that lower back. Relax the head, relax the neck. Again, you can come down onto the hands, but try not to allow that bone pop up. So the whole thing is release here. Feel that left hip release, feel the glute release, lower back release, fronts of the hips release, neck release. Again, just let gravity take its hold on the head here. Hold, but not the breath. From here, we're going to bring the right hand to the center of the mat. Bring the left hand to rest just on top of the left knee, or just above, so not onto the knee. And then we're going to press that hand into the left leg. Gently look over that left shoulder as we come into a nice gentle twist. Hold it here. Allow an extra bonus stretch into the front of the right hip for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, back to center. Both hands come to the ground. We're going to tuck the right to wander, gently come off the knee, and then really slowly draw that left foot back to meet right, and really easy walk it out. Nice relaxed downward dog here. So again, no sudden movements. Coming to stillness when you're ready. We're going to inhale that right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge, resting that left knee down, untucking the toe. And then we're going to walk the right foot to the very outside of the mat. So again, we want to try to keep that knee in line with the ankle, not tracking out in front and not too far back that we're compressing into our hips. So a nice solid line here. Coming to the fingertips, we're going to inhale, draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. As we exhale, we might even shimmy that left foot back a little bit more until we feel that lovely space into the front of the left hip and into the right hip. Relax the head, relax the neck. So just allow it all ease out here. Again, we can come down onto the hands, but just make sure the bone doesn't start to pop up if you do so. So again, just think about release on that exhale. And again, not staying here for too long, just a nice little gentle release, particularly into those glutes or those stabilizers, those hip stabilizers. We've got quite a little work there. So again, just easing them out. And just even notice, is it much easier on one side than the other working into these hips? So those little imbalances, just checking in with them. Sometimes it can be just the way we acted that day. It could be the way we sat when we were at our desk. It could be the way we slept. But if it's something that's continually popping up, or if it's causing us pain or it's causing us issue, then the body is kind of telling us we need to listen. Lovely. From here, we're going to bring the left hand to the center, bring the right hand just above the right knee, pressing the hand into the leg. We're going to look over that right shoulder, coming into a gentle spinal twist here. And again, we feel an extra release into the front of the left hip for 3, for 2, and 1. Right hand comes back to meet left. We're going to gently tuck those left toes under, lifting off the knee, and really, really slowly bring that right foot back around to meet left. And then gently walk it out one last time in our downward dog. So nice and relaxed. Don't force the movement, whatever feels good. Maybe rock the hips side to side. Maybe look out underneath opposite armpits, get a nice little stretch along the side waist. Maybe rock the head side to side, whatever feels good. Nice and organic. Don't worry about what it looks like. And then we're going to come to stillness, gently release down onto the knees, untuck the toes, come down onto the forearms, making a little pillow with our hands, and we're going to rest our forehead onto our hands, keeping the toes together, but drawing those knees nice and wide. So just coming into a nice relaxed wide-legged child's pose to finish our practice. And maybe just gently swaying the hips side to side, releasing the glutes, releasing the lower back, releasing into those hips. Maybe rocking the head side to side, releasing the neck and upper back. And then gently just rocking ourselves into stillness and just checking in with the body here. Notice any little trapped energy, any little niggles, any little points of resistance that you're still holding on to. Tension in the face, the arms, the chest, the hips. And just take a few of your own natural cleansing breaths to inhale into that space, acknowledge it. And then as you exhale, just sigh it out, release and let it go. So again, just taking a couple of breaths like that. Again, not forcing it, just acknowledging it and then letting it go. Taking a few moments. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to press the hands into the ground, gently tuck the chin into the chest. As we walk those hands back toward the knees, we're going to sit back up onto the heels. Gently shimmy those knees back toward each other. And again, we might finish here sitting like we started, or if it's not so comfortable, just come to any seat that's comfortable for you. So it could be legs extended, easy cross-legged, sitting on the chair, sitting on the bed, whatever feels good. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling, sit nice and tall, nice and strong, and we'll finish like we started. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out, and let it go. And we do that twice more. Nice big cleansing, full breaths. Exhale, release. So just really allow that body relax on that exhale, let it all go. And then gently bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your Tuesday evening to come to the mat, to look after yourselves, to create some lovely energy, some lovely strength, some lovely stability, and hopefully take that with you into the evening and into the week ahead. And thank you as always for sharing your practice and energy with me. Namaste.